Hey guys, this is TeamBMAD here, and Jacob doing a deck profile on the Fabled Quasar. This is my form of it. A lot of people try and go for a lot more Quasar spam, and more of a focus on them as an engine. I prefer not to use them as an engine, and use them as their synchro ring abilities allow them. For those who don't know, these are my first cards offered. Just going to be the generic used always cards. So let's see here. We got three Grimro. Oh, let me move back a little bit. A little high up there. Okay. 3 Grimro.
Want me to move it down a bit?
Oh no, it's fine. I just need to have my cards up high. Right. That's fine. 3 Crests, both good for searching and constant use. Lurie and Chawa. Always used for your formula synchron. And get that draw. And then 3 Subarel, more synchroing power that goes along with the 3 Ganashiyas. Also more draw for the Rajin that you constantly need. Something that people don't typically use for Fableds, which I find extremely useful still. Nizuchi. His effect is you're able to discard 1 Fabled, then with the special summon them out, then you can special summon 1 level 2 or lower Fabled from your hand. Just massive spam just from him alone. But he can still be a dead draw, that's why he is at 2.
If only you could summon Kushano off of him.
Oh, that'd be pretty. Be very, very pretty. Speaking of Kushano, we have 2 of him. Always short-handed. He's never really used that often in Fabled builds. Why? I don't know. He allows you to keep doing plays. He's always your friend. He's your buddy. Don't laugh at me. He's amazing.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you.
Yes. 2 Cat Sith. Also another card that is not run too often because it's very situational and has to be a face-up card. But I find if you were to use it with certain other cards, you're able to stop their plays along with helping you get Fables to the graveyard and still able to make plays more off of it. Then we're done with Fables, so we go on to the next bit, which would be the support monsters. First off, I have 3 Quibbolts. Goes great with Kushano. Just great with any tuner. Allows you to keep synchroing so long as you have them in the graveyard and make more plays. Just synchro. Cold Enchanter. I use 2 of her. Most people prefer Snipe Hunter. Shut up.
As I'm grinning here behind the camera.
I understand Snipe Hunter, and I'll get a lot of gripes about it. I still get gripes from him.
Gripe.
The fact that Snipe Hunter can do more plays from destroying your opponent, but he falls short if you do not have targets. For me, my build kind of focuses on more of a Fabled build and being able to get Quasar first turn as often as I can, and I have gotten in a lot. Just ask people around here. I have. And then to round off the monsters.
Cold Enchanter better too.
Yeah, Cold Enchanter works. And plus, I mean, if you don't get Quasar, you can use her as a gigantic ass beat stick. I've gotten her up over 3,000. So. And then round off the monsters is my Treeborn Frog. Added just that little extra level 1 that you might need. And also you can just simply use it for discard fodder and just keep synchroing.
As you round off the monsters, I do have a question.
Uh-huh.
Why don't you run Dandelion in there? Seems like it would fit perfectly with the Fableds.
Because Dandelion can actually fill up the field when you don't want it to, and it could just cause a little more problems than it's necessary for. You don't really need Dandelion. Granted, it's an extra generic 3 before it goes to the graveyard, then 1s, but the tokens kind of just take up the space that you probably really need. That's why Treeborn Frog is an optional, always comes out, and with my build, you don't have a lot of spells and traps in the back row, so he just keeps coming back.
See, with me always having to put stun and everything in my Unicorn build, he was a boss.
He is a boss. He's amazing. He's
referring to Dandelion.
And also, since with the current build with E-Dragons, oh dear lord, he's their worst enemy when they have Lad out, because he just keeps coming back out, makes him down to barely nothing. Then you can just kill him with any Fabled, because he's what, 800?
28, then goes down to nothing.
Well, no, he has to stop actually at 800 because of the 400 defense.
Does he?
Yeah. That's apparently his ruling is that he has to have attack or defense to sacrifice. But in any case, he still negates anyway. So if you just simply get him down to nothing, you could just bring out Kushano or Subaru for all you want and just bite the crap out of his ankles. Then, of course, we have 3 dealings, more discarding, more spamming, draw, lots of draw. Then a lot of people like to call it the Holy Trinity. I kind of replaced one of them just for an added discard. And Lightning Vortex helps with the fact that you don't need to kill your monsters. They stay safe. Just kill your big opponents. And just knock them down.
And if in Fables you're top decking to where you don't have the discard, you're kind of screwed anyway. Fables are one of the worst top deckers, in my opinion.
They are bad top deckers, but if you're able to just keep synchroing and get more draw off of the Librarian, Raging, and formulas, you shouldn't be too problem. But if you do get those lost, then yeah, this is a terrible top deck. At that point, I would suggest go Kudabi and just set whatever top deck you get. Then we have Pot of Avarice, constant recycle of any monster that you need, and mostly the synchros. Just keep getting them back. You want to keep using them. Card Destruction, just staple for Fables. Discard, draw. What's more powerful than that? Foolish Burial gets basically Kushano and Kobolds, maybe even the Treeborn Frog if necessary, to the graveyard. So that way you can just make more plays off of it. One card I don't see many people use is Feather of the Phoenix. I currently run 1. I wanted to run 2, but I see sometimes, again, with the top decking problem, they can get kind of in the way. But Feather of the Phoenix allows you to be able to top deck anything from your graveyard to the top. So that way you can just put whatever, say, tuner you want up top. Or Grimrow helps a lot. Get Grimrow to the top, search again. Because you're probably going to, if you use Feather, you get this card, then you're probably going to synchro again right afterwards.
Hear that, guys? If you want to run a Feather of the Phoenix, run in Fables, not Infernities, like I keep frickin' saying, and it's starting to piss me off.
I can see why even the Infernities draw. If you top deck, what's his name? The one that
Archfiend.
Yeah, draw him, special summon him, and get stuff.
Want discard.
Well, their whole purpose was to empty out their hand, so discard can help.
We can go into this during my deck profile, because I might do one after this.
Alrighty, there you go. If you hear that, guys, watch his deck profile on Infernities. Whenever he's going to post it. This, that, I don't care. But my traps, I've been trying to flip-flop on traps and what other stuff I put in here. Probably some of you are wondering, why is there no Morphing Jar? Well, Morphing Jar is also a problem with the top deck. I mean, granted, you get the 5, but you don't get the draw. You don't get the discard, sorry. You get draw, no discard. You want to have discard, and you want to always be able to discard and make plays.
Any dragons will laugh their asses off at you if you Morphing Jar them.
Right. It just stops you. But
thanks for putting the dragons in the graveyard for me.
Yeah. Just discard them all, and then if they have a freaking set rejuvenation, if they're stupid enough or know that what they're facing is going to have them discard a lot, just have rejuvenation. That way they can draw more off of your plays than anything. But if you have Vine Wrath, it's able to stop E-Dragons at certain points, and it can even stop Lad, just so that way, if he's trying to negate one of your summons, negate him right back at him, and just stop him dead cold. And that's the deck. And now on to my awesome little top loader extra deck. Of course, most of it is really simple, generic for it, of course, but I put in some of my own suggestions, so go ahead and complain if you want. I know some of it's
complain.
I know some of it's kind of
Boo,
weird.
You suck.
It's not a secret. But first off, of course, is the formula. Sync for 2, draw a card, free draw, whatever. Army Arm, great for another one of my syncers. I'll explain that in a second. But also generic 4, so that way you can just
combo so much.
It's a great combo. I'm sure a lot of people are going to be like, what? But
you'll see in a second.
Yeah, great level 4, able to empty out your fields with just a quick little synchro. And just keep synchro stacking over and over. And also another level 4 that helps with the empty out, or if you want to just simply piss him off and stall the crap out of him. Kudabi is he's just a wall. He helps with defense, and he's just going to stare him in the eye and say, try, see what happens. Then, you tried, it happened, and fuck. That's basically what just happened. But then, of course, 2 Rasian. I would run 3, but I'm making room for that one amazing guy. But sync for 5, draw 2, or 1, whichever you're stuck at. More draw, more synchro, focus. Then here's the guy, Stygian Sergeants. Great guy, very little play, and just can devastate your opponent's field. If they don't have anything to stop his attack, or his summon for that matter, he's just gonna kill all your opponent's monsters, and then just punch him in the face. It just yeah. What?
Fun fact, guys, this plus armor arm equals GG if your opponent has 2 or more monsters. I was
getting to that. Yes. If you attack with armor in your arm while it's equipped, it just deals that much more damage. Just keeps obliterating.
I can't tell what this card is.
So if they're defense, they're just gonna laugh at the defense and just burn you to hell. Then of course,
and the picture
that's the 5s. Librarian, constant, always used.
Sucks.
Never waste him. Never waste him for 5s. That's why it's either him that can just obliterate everything, or generic 5s. But he's basically your generic 5. If you want, you can just use a generic 5s for the case of don't want to waste him. Don't waste. Bad idea.
Who runs Librarian and Fabled? It's a scrub.
Oh ha ha. Then of course the generic 6s, which would be Gaia Knight and I always forget his name. Okay, Gravity Warrior. I just call him Lion Man.
Surprisingly accurate.
Yeah, look at his face and his head. He just looks like a lion. He's got the giant ass claws. He's just like Lion Man.
Goddamn lion.
Yeah, he's also another beat stick, but you can force your opponent who's maybe defensive. Someone's maybe running Karakuris that doesn't want to attack. That has screw you. You're attacking. Yeah. And then my 7s. Also, something that people don't run is another level 7 here. But first off, of course, the generic glare. For Fabled, Ancient Sacred Wyvern. Able to just blow away any high-powered monster so long as you're higher in life points than your opponent. Pretty good. I mean, it's guaranteed to be synchroed. It's like it can't be not synchroed with this deck. But then, of course, we have the Chaos King Archfiend. Something people don't really use too often, and I don't understand why, especially with Fabled, because then it can switch around the shit. You're low on power. He helps. Switch it. Have, say, Sergeant's out. He's able to freaking attack everything because he switches all of your opponent's attack and defense. Amazing. Very easy. Just for the Rasian, or not for the Rasian, but the Stygian Sergeants and Chaos King Archfiend use Kushano because he's the only Fiend tuner. And that's what they require. But either way, it's very easy because Kushano is just able to discard, bring himself back, and just constantly use. And then, of course, we have the generic 8s. I prefer Colossal Fighter and Stardust. That way, it's either negate the destruction or stop their attacks cold because they're just going to keep running into this guy over and over again. And, yeah, he helps. And just 8. And then, of course...
no Scrap Dragon?
I would run Scrap Dragon, but that's only really if you want to focus on killing their spells and traps most of the time. Which, yeah, you do, but you don't want to kill your tuner. You don't want to kill any essential little guys that you want to keep stacking with synchros that you probably can't get back later. Unless it's with the Treeborn Frog, then yeah, go ahead.
Or Dandy.
Huh?
Or Dandy.
No, Dandy's not good with Scrap, because then you only have it for those times that it's out, and it's... No, I don't like Dandy. Dandy is... I've tried it with Fabled. He failed horribly. It was a long time ago, but either way, it was just like, no. he didn't want to be part of it, and I didn't want him part of it either. Shooting Star Dragon has to go with this motherfucker, Quasar. This is the whole purpose of the deck. Porpoise. I almost said porpoise. Constant negation. There's so much glare in this window. But Quasar, able to basically just stop whatever you need to, so long as it's not a lad, eat dragons, and just otherwise you're screwed. But he's a. There are so many ways to get him out for this deck that will be possible, because right now the only possibilities is 2 5s and the formula, or a 6 and a 4 with formula. But once the generic 3 comes out, which I honestly can't remember his. I can't remember his name. It's some sort of bird thing. 0 attack, 2300 defense. Generic level 3 synchro. It helps, so that way you can use.
Finally, a 3 synchro.
I know, right? We're tired of the freaking, what is it? It's the turbo
booster.
Yeah, it was retarded. You can't be running this deck. It just slows it down. And you couldn't really. If its purpose to help get Quasar, you just failed altogether. But with 3, you're able to use 7s, so that way it opens up more possibilities instead of having to waste like your Rasian and your Librarian. But yeah, that's the synchros. I have a little bit of an extra deck. This is just like
Side deck, you mean?
Sorry, I said extra deck again, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
It don't matter.
This is your 5-card extra deck.
Oh yeah, they're just off-colored, man. They look so funky this way. I like it. But no, this is my little bit of my side deck that I tried running some in a while back. A lot of people really like the either Regeki Break, which are these guys, or Phoenix Windblast. Both really good cards. It helps with the stopping plays. But my main idea is to go for Divine Wrath or Regeki Breaks. That way it actually literally stops just about anything, because Phoenix Windblast only stops monsters, right? Mm-hmm. So if you were to...
They can bounce set spells and traps as well.
Does it?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure.
I thought it was only monsters.
We'll post something in the video.
But, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I don't run the deck. This is your job to know.
I don't really run the card because...
Continue.
Yeah. Whatever. But yeah, Regeki Break is able to stop, like, say, Fire Fist and be able to stop their continuous little thing. So with this and Cat Sith, it becomes a 2-card destruction. Just simply boom, boom. Just kills everything. And then DDR, not something I see a lot of people run in Fabled, but it helps with being able to get back the Quibble or the Ganashia that banish themselves by card effect because they are special summoned by their own effect. But along with that, you're able to get a discard, and you're able to get out that monster that you want, that you had foolishly gotten rid of. The Synchro is basically more draw to it, so if you use it with your formula or your Rasian, you're able to get just more plus draws off of it, and that's pretty much all it's really used for in the deck. Otherwise, not really too useful. Pegless, I used to main him all the time, but...
And it pissed everyone else the hell off.
Yeah, because for some reason, I find it that people run into him as a wall. How that happens, I don't know. He's a 1600 defense, and you can't get over him? What's wrong with you?
Yeah, because I'm going to attack him with my Relinquished. You mad?
I don't know, it's weird. Either way, his whole purpose is to be a level 1 tuner, discard fodder, and if he's flip face up after he's being discarded by his effect, send Kushana to the graveyard, so that we have him always in the graveyard. Otherwise, level 2, little tiny wall. Then, of course, one thing that should always be ran, unless you choose not to. Right now, I'm not.
Should be run unless you choose not to?
Yeah. Should. If you don't want to have him there at all times, yeah. And to have that discard and 5 cards, so pretty, but also it just kind of ruins things. I think I talked about it a few moments ago, didn't I? That he can become a problem with the top because then you don't have anything to discard for his effect. You just get draw. Yeah, it's especially doesn't want to be pretty with... If you were to have him and Kudabi, Kudabi just slaughtered himself, and you're fucked. You just lost your wall because you set him with Kudabi. Whoops! Because Kudabi kills himself if you have...
Pro summon in face-up attack mode if you have Kudabi. Or set in the spell and trap card zone.
What? I don't think it's possible. No. Bad idea. But yeah, if you have Kudabi out and you get him in your hand, you're screwed no matter what happens, because Kudabi's just about to die in a horrible blaze of not so glory. But yeah, that's it for my ideas and my builds. Try it out, I guess, if you want. First turn Quasar half the time with my build. You can always change it out. Snipe Hunter, not Divine Wrath or anything like that. Just like and subscribe. Hope you enjoyed my deck. Bye.
I know I didn't.